Everybody, let me just put this on the tripod. Oh, yeah, I got it. How you guys doing? Getting my tea ready. Think I'm on time? Yep. I got one more minute. Got my PC on. My elderberry tea. Come on in, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to pull up the live so I can see the chat. There we go. My allergies are bothering me, so I'll stay on as long as I can. I just took some Allegra because I was going in and out the greenhouse today. Moving day for the citrus trees to go outside and all of my seedlings to go in. So let me jump up in here and see who's in the house this evening. Grandmama Gross, thank you for being here. My Renaissance grandma, Miss Brenda Allen, Angela's Busy Bee Garden and Homestead, Cotham Creations. Lita is here. Chris White is on the road. Truck driver. Thank you so much, Chris. Karen Witherspoon is in the house. Karen Witherspoon. Oh, I sent you an email. You might want to check it, Karen. Lorraine T. Backyard Farming with Ashley. Good evening. Bobby Wilson is in the house. Lavender for Luck. Chine Moss Farm is in the house. GT Jr. from Alaska is here. Amani Anita Newsom is here. Miss Kia Parks, my internet daughter, is in the house. And Pescatarian Gardner is here. We thank you so much for being here. Andrea Lucas is in the house. Growing with Hudson. Congratulations to Growing with Hudson. She celebrated her 500 subscribers the other night. At Home with Cherie is in the house. Thank you so much, Cherie, for being here. All Nat Homesteader, good evening to you. Wanda B, good to see you. Lynette Tucker, thank you for being here. And LaShawn Black, Auntie's Backyard is in the house. My Renaissance grandma is in the house, thank you. Miss Debbie Epps, thank you so much for being here. And let's see. I think everybody is speaking to each other, which is wonderful. Cassandra Dominic is in the house. We also have Stephanie Shockley is in the house. Etis is in the house. LaDawn Fritcher. And I think I spoke to everybody. If I miss somebody, charge it to my head and not my heart. Okay, so let me pull up my files for this evening. You all know that I always research and try to have an interesting topic for you. And I start off each live by putting up my Cash App. And you can pin it now to the top. Well, they let me do it last week. They were trying out a new feature. Let me see if they're going to let me do it this week. Yep. I'm going to pin that message. Hey, Yankee sister, if I didn't speak to you already. And now I'm going to put my email address. And I've been getting a lot of email. I'm going to talk about some of it tonight. And paste. Lady Cheryl's Natural Products at gmail.com. I always acknowledge our honorary golden members that are a part of our Eat Your Own Perks Club, and that is Mrs. Helen, or Ellen, I should say, Panky. We call her Auntie Auntie Ellen Panky, Viola Graham, Jean Dudley, Deb M., and Joyce Moore. And we'll add some honorary golden gents as soon as somebody is a regular subscriber and they are over 70 years old or 70 and older. And we allow them to have all of the perks that come along with being in your Eat Your Own group. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Cheryl, because I think she did it for me last week, to place. Okay, because thought I saw somebody want to join. If they want to join one of the perk clubs, if you would put that link there for me, Miss Cherie. And Angel Loves Garden is here. And if I missed anybody else, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, the pressure canning class went very well last Sunday. You know, I always have them on Sunday, and they're always at noon. And the week before, we did candle making, natural soy wax candles. And let me announce these classes that are coming up. People are already emailing me to get on the list. And that is, we have on Sunday, March the 13th. And of course, it's always at noon Central Standard Time. And this one is going to be a lecture only with question and answers to follow. And I'm going to share with you product knowledge and how you formulate specific products using essential oils and natural carrier oils. That's what I get a lot of questions about. This is the first time you're doing this particular class, so it should be interesting. Thank you, Auntie's Backyard. She's asking you guys, and I'm doing this for the replay, to hold your questions. So when people come to the replay and they don't know what's going on, because I always publish the live chat, why people are asking questions and not getting them answered, that is because that I do them at the end after I go over my topic for the week. And another thing I want to say is, if you are not a subscriber, you can't comment during the live chat. However, you can leave a comment or question or concern at the end of the chat. You can put your comments. And remember, it is your responsibility to be on time for any class. And the time is just like it is when I come on my lives every Monday night. If you're an hour ahead of me or an hour behind or the same time zone, I will start promptly at noon. Actually, I'm always in the Zoom meeting class before time, at least 5 minutes. So it's always noon Central Standard Time. Okay? So I announced that first class in March will be for everybody that is in the Make Your Own Perk Club. Now, for those honorary members, the Golden Girls, and anybody else that is in the Eat Your Own Club, I'm going to have a water bath canning class on how to water bath can. I already said that. Water bath canning class on tomatoes. Whole tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, pureed tomatoes, tomato sauce. You just can't add any meat or any other ingredients other than tomatoes. Okay? Because then you will have different times. Like, for example, if you add meat, you can't water bath can it. Well, it is not recommended that you water bath can it. I know there's a Facebook group on Facebook that water bath cans everything. But I'm not doing that. I'm not teaching that. I'm going strictly by the government's preservation department. And let me give you that website. I bookmarked it, so it's called the NCHFP, the National Center for Home Food Preservation. Let me link it. So if you have questions about canning and you have not taken any of my canning classes and you email me, I'm going to refer you to that website. And let me put it in here. Now, if you have done your research, and one of my moderators, you can copy that link up several other places in the chat. If you have done your research and you have taken my canning classes, then I will answer your email. I'm trying to say this as nice as I can, that if I don't know you and you have just a general question about canning that you can research and find the answer yourself, I'm asking you not to waste your time emailing me. Try to figure it out. But those people that have attended my classes, I make myself available to them. Okay? All right. And let's see. So that's the 2 classes. One on the 13th for formulating essential oils and natural carrier oils. And then the water bath canning tomatoes is on March the 27th. I'm not even sure if I announced that date. March the 27th. But I did make a community post after I scheduled the classes in Zoom. And I've already got people that have signed up already. Now, but let me share this with you about the canning classes. This is for people who have never taken a class before that I'm bringing this to your attention. I do not give out the code to the class until you correspond with me via email and let me know that you have everything that you need to be ready to can. I need to know what type of canner you have. I need to know what type of stove you have, whether you have a gas stove, electric, do you have one of them induction cooktops, or you're going to do it on a hot plate, if your cannery is electric, if it's all American or Presto or something I've never heard of. I do not want to be caught with my window open or closed. I want to know who I'm and what I'm dealing with and how long it's going to take for your canner to build up pressure. So that's the only reason why I ask those questions. So you will get the code once you follow the instructions of the correspondence that I send you, and it tells you in that email everything that you need. And there are a couple options sometimes when you're pressure canning or water bath canning. For example, seasoning, if you're going to use vegetable stock, because some people try to put chicken stock or beef stock in there, and that will alter the time. If we're canning tomatoes, we can't add that. You can add vegetable stock. So I won't give you the code until we correspond and everything is running smoothly. Wanda B said, I took your canning class this past October and you helped tremendously. I've been canning ever since. I'm canning chili beans now. That just makes my heart smile. And I tell everybody that once you've done it and you're no longer a canning virgin and you realize how good that food tastes, you're going to keep on canning. I think I heard my friend Philly, Miss Beverly. You all know Miss Beverly. I started doing her hair in 1992. She's now a retired school teacher. And she's in her 70s, and she just stopped working because the daycare where she's volunteering at closed down. So she's very active. And she was telling me that they had Presto soup on sale, and asked me did she want me to pick up me a couple of cans, because she's always giving me some nice stuff. That's why I give her anything she wants out of my food forest, okay? And I said, no, Miss Beverly, I don't like Progressive. She said, but it's the healthy one with the low sodium. I said, yeah, but it just doesn't taste like my soup. So when you have those organically homegrown veggies and you make your own soup, you get kind of spoiled. You can tell when stuff is not homemade and you don't want it. So I didn't want her to waste her money. You know what I mean? So all of those of you that have been canning, shoot me a picture sometime. Let me know what you're doing. I love to get stuff like that. And if, like I said earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My canning graduates. Now, you all know I have a playlist with a lot of canning videos, and I highly recommend, every time I talk about canning, this lady calls me her auntie, and that is Homestead Heart. Would somebody put the link to her canning playlist on the news feed? I feel it's enough YouTubers out there for everybody to go to everybody's site. I'm not jealous of anyone, nor do I compete with anyone. I don't get in cliques. I already told you all that several times. I stand alone, and I just do the best that I possibly can. Now, I was going in and out, in and out. Brian and Britt with their dad, Davey, came over after school, and they moved my Davey did, all my 5 citrus trees out of the back of the greenhouse. And he said, you want me to do something else? I said, yeah, can you put my tables in? So he put 3 tables in, and I had already been going out there back and forth all day. And the reason why I'm saying this is for a reason. I was telling my daughter, she calls me when she's driving home from work, and I said, I need to lay down. I feel like I'm out of breath and I'm a little tired. I sure hate to do this, but I may just cancel. She said, you shouldn't do that, Mom. What do you tell me to do? Get up, dress up, and you'll start feeling better. So if you notice, I put on a different one of my girls today, and a deeper red lipstick, and put my little necklace on and my little glitter on my little top. And I feel better. And took my Allegra. And she was right. So sometimes if you don't feel it, guys, just keep moving anyway. Okay? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The tea that I'm drinking today is elderberry. And you all know that I canned a lot of it. I made some of it with syrup, out of syrup with honey for my grandkids. I even made some with a little bourbon and a little vodka for a hot toddy. I assure you, that's not what I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking just the plain elderberry syrup, like a tea. And one of my hair clients gave me this, and she got it from Amazon. And you can lift it off the base. I don't know if you can see it. And then it drizzles just a little bit of honey in there. It's really cool. The only thing is, it's not glass, it's plastic. But it's still light and cool. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. She said, I look good and they would not have known I wasn't feeling that well. I think the Allegra is kicking in because, my sinuses were draining. So, yeah, I feel better. And I'm glad my daughters told me to, Mom, go ahead and do your thing. You always do this every Monday night. You love to brag about you can count on one hand or several fingers how many Mondays you've missed. And that's when it was on a holiday or I was on vacation. And one time I was camping on vacation and I went live at the campsite with my children. We love to go camping. That is something we did with my late husband. And I just love the fact that my boys are still carrying on the tradition. We like nature. And they don't know it yet. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They're all going to have gardens, which my daughter has already started. But those boys, they're going to have a garden too. When you're young and you're in your early 40s, late 30s, you're raising your family, and some of us don't have the time. I didn't garden as much then when I was raising my family as I do now. If you're new to my channel, I've been gardening for over 40 years. I'll be 68 on my next birthday in July. And I've been gardening at this residence in the same spot for 31 years. So I know the microclimates in my yard, and I hope I don't sound bragging. I'm just sharing my knowledge, okay? But my mama said it ain't bragging if it's true, and this is true. So I know where I have my sheds at. They create a microclimate, and guys, my fruit trees are becoming beasts. They are getting really big. So after I get all the seedlings moved out to the greenhouse, the next thing I'm going to do is pruning. And then I'm going to do a dormant spray of neem oil. And I'll bring you that into another video. Okay? All right. Hey, hoeing and sowing gardening. I haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a connection. I think it's either your sister, somebody in your family is living in Northwest Indiana, Gary, Indiana, home of the Jackson 5s. That's where I grew up. I left there in the 80s. But I go as often as I can, not during the pandemic, but to see my family. Hey, Miss Ellen, thank you for being here. And Veggie Farm Garden is in the house. Yeah, that's a funny name. You'll never forget hoeing and sowing. I love it. Yes, you're from Gary and your sister still lives there. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Okay. My Granny's Garden is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure everybody went back and spoke to everybody. Okay, so if you want to join the Perks Club, I think I asked Cheryl to put a link to it. If you're on your PC, you can just hit that $, and YouTube gets a portion of the fees, and they are as follows. It's $2.99 a month to grow your own club. And then with that, you get a shout out every week. You can put it up on the screen in the chat. And you also get the seed of the month. Okay? And I don't send them out to everybody. I wait until you email me with an address. Yes, every month. You would think I would have your email saved, but I have that. I don't cross up my business with my YouTube stuff. When I say business, I'm talking about Lady Cheryl's products. Okay? So that's for $2.99, grow your own. If you want to go one step higher, it's $4.99 a month, and you get the perks from your grow your own club. But this one, you get a chance to attend one food preservation class a month. And I don't know if you know this, but before I started the perk clubs, I was charging $30 per class. So you get a chance to go to one free, and twice a year, I'll do 2 classes on a monthly basis. And Tasha, Oh She Grows, is letting us know that she has been a member of the Grow Your Own Club for 4 months. And let's give her a hand. I'm looking for my bell. I don't see it. Yes, I do. It's right behind my PC. Congratulations to Tasha Oh She Grows. We thank you so much for being here. And Debbie Epps is ringing the bell too. Her and G Mama Grows. Y'all have the cutest little icons. I just love you all. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, I got the best moderators in these YouTube streets. On YouTube is what I was getting ready to say. Love Growing Green Garden. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And I don't know if I said Angel Loves Garden or not. Okay, so we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Now, the last perk club is $9.99 a month, and that's the one where you get all the perks from Grow Your Own, Eat Your Own, and you also can attend one product making class or pertaining to making natural products. And twice a month, when there are 5 weeks in the month, I will schedule 2 classes. Okay? Okay. I think I've covered all of that. I have a couple of new members. I'm not going to call your names out. Thank you for emailing me your address. If one of you all have joined and you didn't email me, please, somebody new in the chat, let me know. And I see Karen Witherspoon has been a member of the Make Your Own Products for 6 months. Let's congratulate her. Howell Family Homestead is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. And if I missed anybody, moderators, help me. You all know it goes real fast. And I see some of you all that aren't even moderators are helping people. LaDon Pritchard, I don't know if I called your name out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Okay, so I did all the perks. I told the new members to please email me their address. Anybody that's in these groups that want to take a class, please email me so I can let you know if there are any prerequisites, especially when it comes to canning. And I think that's it. Okay, so now, at this time, while I'm pulling up my topic, I would like for everybody that is, if you're a moderator or if you are in one of the perk groups, please put your URL. I was listening to somebody earlier this morning and they called it your URL for your URL for your YouTube channel. Or you can just put your garden zone in, whatever you want to do. Some people don't like to do it. You know, it's up to you. But this is your opportunity because like I said, I always publish the chats. So it would be really nice. Hey, Miss Irene, thank you so much for being here. Love you, Lady Cheryl. Oh, that just warms my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Let me go to my notes over here while you are all putting in, tongue-tied today, while you all are putting in your information. Okay, the topic I'm getting ready to discuss, I can't give you any scientific reason for these groups of plants being companion plants. I can only tell you what I've learned throughout the years and research that I've done, books, articles, YouTube videos of master gardeners. Okay? And I don't think you have to have a certification behind your name to be a master gardener. It's just some people they just know it. They listen to a lot of the old timers and they pass stuff down. For example, you hear everybody talking about coffee grounds, egg shells, and banana peels. And my grandmother used to keep it up under her sink. And she would keep the dish soap up under there. So wash dishes, I'll go in there and get the dish soap. And I said, Big Mama, what is that? And that's for my plants. She didn't go into no technical names for what each ingredient did for the plant. You know, as far as phosphorus and nitrogen. But she collected that. And she knew that it would help her plants. Because I told you I got my start in gardening from my grandparents, my Big Daddy and Big Mama. And I passed that on to my grandkids. We got Lady Cheryl's Gardening Squad now, inspired by the name Debbie Epps gave our moderators. And my late husband, was an avid fisherman. And he would dig up all around the perimeter of the pear tree and and buried the fish guts. He couldn't tell me why it added a lot of nitrogen. He just said it's really good for the pear tree. Something that was handed down to him from generation to generation. So I don't think you necessarily have to have a certification to master a subject. Just keep doing it and you'll get better and better. And when I see young gardeners, not necessarily young in age, but young in experience, saying that they did this and they messed up, and I always try to leave a positive comment. We all make mistakes, or we all do things differently, and we learn from it. The first time I grew a tomato, which was a tomato start, I put it in a bucket, and I figured because it was on my patio and had an overhang, that I didn't need any holes in the bottom of the bucket for drainage. I know that sounds crazy. But I figured it wasn't going to rain that much. Yeah, I didn't figure into the equation the wind and how it can whip that water up in there. I come home from work and my little babies were flooded out because they didn't have no drainage. So we all, I don't want to say mistakes. We all do things we wish we hadn't done, or we wish we had done them differently, and we learn from it. Okay? So I'm looking for my mouse. I'm going to go back and I'm going to check out my news feed. Right, the old folks did all sorts of stuff that is now permaculture or some other big fancy word. I ain't hating, I'm just saying. Auntia, you are exactly right. Auntia's backyard. They knew what they were doing. Gail Hopper, or Hooper, Hooper, Hooper. She's in the house. Thank you for being here. She says, I have a bucket for eggshells and for one for compost. And let me just say this, because I don't know if you're doing this or not, but you can bake your eggshells. They'll crumble up quicker, and it won't spread E. coli. Is it E. coli or salmonella? E. coli. Salmonella is chicken. It might be a salmonella. And you also can nuke them in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Fatima Nash is in here. Tasha Oshie Groves is speaking to her. I think I spoke with her already. At Home with Cherie, put the perk member ship link if you want to join. Also, I think I saw another sunflower. Auntie's Backyard Garden is letting us know. And I saw your video, her latest a video. She had a seed haul that she got in the mail several places, and she's leaving a link. Let's congratulate her for being with us for 5 months. Okay. All right. Congratulations. Mostly master gardening certifications is to get volunteers for the extension service projects. Ain't that the truth? I love it. Hey, Denise. She's in the house, and Carmen's Garden is in the house. Playgirl B is in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so like I said, I don't have any scientific master gardener certification or scientific reasoning behind this, but I know a lot of this, I practice, it works. And the first thing I'm going to talk about as far as companion planting is concerned is marigolds. It is one of the few flowers that you can plant next to or mixed in with anything. I saw another green button there. Debbie Epps, she's been a member for 7 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's congratulate Debbie Epps. So, marigolds, you can direct sow them. I start some early. In fact, I got some blooming, but it's a good idea to plant your marigolds, especially if you've been gardening like me for a long time. Let me slow down. In the same soil, just replenishing it with organic matter and organic compost tea, weed tea, comfrey tea, grass clippings tea, worm castings, azomite rock dust. But I don't buy any bulk fertilizers or any store-bought chemical fertilizers, whether they're organic or not. So when you're using that soil over and over, you're introducing environmental things that can happen, like nematodes. There are beneficial nematodes, and then there are non-beneficial nematodes. And the beneficial nematodes will destroy or eat up non-beneficial nematodes. But one thing that kills bad nematodes is what I just mentioned, that you can plant anywhere in your garden, mix it in with your veggies or your fruit, and that is marigolds. Any type of marigolds. And I had, and may still have, a little issue with nematodes, bad nematodes, that I used a lot of remedies like cracked crab shells that was grated up. I solarized my bed for several months because I had bad nematodes in there that caused the fungus at the roots of the plants, and they chew on them, and they create these knotted roots like a string of pearl. If you go back in some of my videos, like insect control, I think it's the playlist that I named it, you'll see pictures of it. Okay? But anyway, so to avoid having a whole lot of knotted roots, and they really attack okra, I move my okra, I rotate that crop from place to place, and then I also plant a lot of marigolds. I direct sow some, I let some self-seed, and I start some in January in the house, and they move out to the backyard. Thank you, Auntie. Hey, Juicy with J. I don't know if I called your name out before. So, plant marigolds anywhere you want to. Another thing that you can plant almost anywhere is radish. But they especially are good to loosen up the soil around your carrots, your onions, and your parsley. Another beneficial plant or flower, and by the way, the marigold is petals is edible. Tastes like pepper to me. The other one is nasturtium. They can be planted anywhere in your garden, and they will repel insects, especially because they mask the odor of the plants that are real pungent. For example, a lot of us are starting seeds in the house. I told you I'm in the process of moving mine out to the greenhouse, right? I can smell my marigolds. I can smell my basil, parsley, cucumber, squash. When I'm potting them up into my 2-cup solo cups, I can just smell them. Because one night I was here talking to you guys and I brought a few plants in front of me, and I think I said this was parsley, and I kept smelling it, and I misspoke. Because what I was showing you, what I said was parsley, it was basil. Because you just know what it smells like. So those seedlings, because I've grown them over and over and over again, I don't even label them unless I have a new variety or type that I'm trying. Another thing is, when I was getting my plants ready to go out, I'm going to get back to the list. When I was getting my plants ready to go out to the greenhouse, I noticed something. The tomatoes, you can smell them too. Those fungus gnats love tomato plants. Because I have that little sticky little butterfly that cut up in the paper that you get on eBay, Etsy, or Amazon. That yellow 2-sided paper. Most of the gnats that I trapped were on the tomato plants. So that lets me know that anything on this list that I'm going over today, I'm going to make sure I add a lot of those plants, like the nasturtium. I haven't even germinated in the nasturtium seeds yet, but I will. I might just direct sow them. I don't know. But I'm going to plant more around those tomatoes. Because if the gnats congregate around them, and that's mostly what I trapped, you all know that that nasty hornworm, that moth, can smell that tomato. And it's going to lay their little nasty eggs on them and create those little worms. Now, I've been blessed. I only had, in the last 2 years, 1 tomato hornworm, and it wasn't even on the tomato. And I vividly remember this discussion here on a Monday night, because everybody started responding and saying same thing happened to them or something similar. So I had so many deterrent plants around my tomatoes, like a little army, that the hornworm the moth didn't go over there and lay the little eggs over there. At least Bria found 1 hornworm on a tomato plant. And I didn't have any marigolds or nasturtiums or anything around it. So now, this is when the experience comes in. If you've been eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day, you'll get tired of it. Or if your mama put a lock on that cabinet and you can't get to that peanut butter and jelly, then you're going to move on to something else that you have access to. And that's what the hornworm did. It laid the eggs over there by the pepper plant. And Bria knows what it is. And she said, "Oh, hornworm, I got it on video." He said, if you look at the playlist for peppers and tomatoes, you'll see it. So don't get too comfortable when you see that it's not attacking, because I got the black light from Amazon. The black light is like, you go out at night and it's got like a little violet deal to it, and the hornworm and caterpillars and stuff will illuminate like neon. And I go out there from time to time and check it out, right? But I didn't check the tomatoes. I'm sorry. I checked the tomatoes. I didn't check the peppers. So that's what I said your experience come in. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. When I go out there and I'm on my little hunting expedition with my flashlight looking for hornworms, I'm going to check all of the pepper plants too. Okay? I'm going to go back to the chat and see what people are saying. Veggie Farm Garden said in nasturtiums. See, that's why I don't grow a lot of them too. Because once it gets 100 degrees, there are no more nasturtiums. But the marigolds can survive, even with shade cloths. Salon Diva, The Home and Garden said, last year I had a huge tomato hornworm on my angel trumpet tree. It was going to work until I introduced it to my nippers. Oh, the relocation program. Okay. I had to plant some nasturtiums with some shade. My first ones burned up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. You guys know I got different types of shade cloth, starting from 90 all the way down to 50. They will eat any plant in the nightshade family, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. Exactly. Hey, C. Thomas, good to see you. Okay, so Barb Brownlee is reminding everybody to hold their questions because you're going to put question marks. So let me finish this. I'm just going back and see if, okay, Auntie said hold your questions too. Okay, so let me go back to my notes. Okay. Now, let's talk about basil. It's done, it grows, it helps lettuce, peppers, and tomatoes. Some people say that it enhances the growth and repels flying insects. Now, I know I've had people tell me that basil make your tomato sweeter. I don't have no experience. I can't co-sign that or say that is true. Because I've tried it, and my tomatoes that didn't have basil around them taste just as good as the ones that had basil. But if you're taking notes and you want to know where to put your basil, it is highly recommended by a list of gardeners, master or not, lettuce, peppers, and tomatoes. Now, this one is a real good one you need to know. Anywhere you plant beans, you want to make sure that it is where you want to fix nitrogen, because that's what they do to the soil. The number one thing they do, of course, is produce some beans. So anything in the cabbage family, corn, eggplants, lettuce, petunias, marigolds, you want to put your beets near. And they deter potato beetles, flies, and then it also, like I said, adds nitrogen to the soil. Okay, let's talk about carrots. Plant your carrots with lettuce, marigolds, onions, parsley, and tomatoes. But there's a stipulation. Those were the pros. Here's the con. Never put your carrots by dill. Okay? Anything in the cabbage family, you can plant those with aromatic herbs and flowers like chamomile, marigold, onions, nasturtiums, and potatoes. But never, ever, ever put your cabbage or anything in the cabbage family with your strawberries. And tonight I want to tell you that this has worked for me to keep slugs down and away from my strawberries, is to plant onions. I did a video a few weeks ago transplanting the most beautiful strawberry crowns I've ever received in the mail. And they came from the Bull's Garden. And would the moderator put up the Bull's Garden link? Because let's help these small business people out in our YouTube family. And those strawberry plants. I kept them in my refrigerator. I have it programmed at 36 degrees Fahrenheit. And they looked just as good when I took them out the refrigerator a few weeks later than they did when I put them in. I mean, they look great. He's got some of the best strawberries I've ever seen. Best strawberry crowns. So I use my little juice, and you can use beer, you can use wine, or you can do the yeast and sugar. It's in my insect repellent playlist. And I save little tuna fish cans, and I fill them up, and I make a little indentation and push it down all the way to the soil. For example, like this is the tuna fish can, and this is the soil. You want to get that can down in the soil. And so the slugs can crawl right in there, and they drink that up, they get drunk or whatever, and they die. But they're attracted to the yeast that's in beer and wine. Okay, and if you, during the pandemic, I made some. Okay, so that and eggshells, crushed eggshells around strawberries to keep slugs away. Some people say coffee grounds. I didn't have that good luck with coffee grounds. And get them up off the ground. And I'm sure you've seen people doing videos with gutters made out of strawberry, stackable or vertical. Or those stackable ones you get at the dollar store. I started strawberries out one year in those. But I have grow boxes sitting on platforms, on carpenter sawhorses. So I don't have to do a lot of bending over. I have 2 garden beds in the greenhouse that are low to the ground. And then I have one outside, a galvanized one. But everything else is up high. I wish I'd done it sooner, because I don't strain my muscles, my back muscles and my knees as much as I used to. Cucumbers. Keep them away from sunflowers and potatoes, because they'll draw, insects that like to prey on cucumbers. But you can plant them around lettuce, nasturtiums, onions, peas, petunias, and radish. Geraniums, most people suggest that you plant them around a lot of cabbage or anything in the cabbage family. And geraniums are good to also plant around grapes. I didn't have any, because they repel cabbage worms and Japanese beetles. Now, I didn't have no luck with the grapes, planting the geraniums around it. I still got a fungus or a black rot. And I cut my losses. I had them 3 years. Concord grapes, got them from Ison's brother. They were healthy plants. They grew very well. The first year I got a lot of nice grapes. Second year I started getting that black rot, and I did everything that these YouTube streets and the books and the research told me to do. But it came back another year, and I said no, I'm gonna cut my losses. So I cut them down about a foot to the ground. I'm going to have the landscaper dig them up, because if you don't, they'll keep on growing. And so I have 3 of those plants. But what I did was I bought 3 noble muscadines from Ison Brothers. And no, that's Stark Brothers and Ison Nursery. I bought 3 more noble muscadines because I had 2. And even though they were on the same pathway, I had 3 trellises together, and they crossed vines. The noble muscadines did not get the black rot. So I decided, forget about the grapes, and I'm just going to do the muscadines, because it makes a wonderful wine. And I have a playlist on that too. And I also tried Thompson grapes, and they would never produce. And somebody told me in a Facebook fruit group that we get too much rain here during our rainy season, so grapes are very difficult to grow. I'm not saying if you live in North Texas, you can't grow them. I'm saying all the years that I've been here and the different varieties that I've tried, they don't do well. So I've given up on them, and I'm going to not fix what ain't broke. And the muscadines do very well, so that's what I'm going to fill that area up with. Okay, onions. You can plant onions everywhere except for peas and beans. And they do a lot of repelling. Onions, because they mask the odor. And you all know that I put onions everywhere, except for my peas and beans. Okay, I think that's enough for today. We can talk about some more about companion planting. Let me hear what you all have to say. Anybody has something else that they know works as far as companion planting? Yes, nasturtiums. Said, aren't they edible? Oh, yeah, yes. The nasturtiums, I thought I said that, guys. Nasturtiums, I think I said just like marigolds, they're edible. If I didn't finish my thought, thank you, David, for reminding me. Because I had that in my mind, because I remember talking about the peppery taste of the marigolds. I think I was getting ready to say it, but I didn't. Thank you so much. That's why I'm planting more flowers this season. Yeah, see, I never have... Wildflowers, David, want to know what they are? You're supposed to hold your question to later, but I'll answer you. Wildflowers are good for bringing in pollinators. And most seed companies will have, and I know Baker Creek will give them out free. I've even seen them at the dollar store. Those American seeds, which are heirloom seeds. But yeah, wildflowers are good for bringing in pollinators. Now, before I looked over there and saw your question, I was going to say, I hear people all the time talking about, where are the bees? I don't get any pollinators. Where the wild? I never had an issue because I have a lot of flowers. In fact, my son-in-law, I had to tell him like I tell Brian, they don't want you. He says, is that a bee? I said, yeah, it's not going to bother you. Come on, son. Get my citrus trees out of here. When you open up a door, you open up a window, they're going to come into those flowers. And I got a lot of flowers. I got milkweed. I don't need to go into it, but I overwinter a lot of flowers this year. Okay? Gail Hooper, do you sandpaper your nasturtium seeds? Some people do. Some people would nick them. A registered nurse who was in my Facebook group when I had it, I was having difficulty germinating nasturtium seeds. She told me to soak them overnight in tea. And a few days later, they germinated. So that's what I do for my nasturtiums. Thank you for your question. Next time, put a big question mark in front of it. And I'm not through yet, but you all can start answering your questions now. Miss Kia says this is her first year growing a lot of flowers because she didn't know any better. Yeah, so I have a lot of fruit trees. I gotta bring them bad boys in. That's why I don't spray with neem oil. Because yes, it's organic, but it will kill bees. So you spray the neem oil after it gets 85 degrees. I don't spray it. And when I do spray it, I spray it late at night when the sun is going down. And then I go and rinse off in the morning because I need those bees. What helps bugs stay away from watermelon? Those aphids tore my vines up. Water, nasturtiums, marigolds. Then you might want to Google your question to see if it's something else about in the companion plants. I don't have anything on this list for you, but I do know that if you examine your garden every single day, you will see on the underside of the leaves those little aphids, and there are 5,000 varieties of that species, or 5,000 species of aphids. And you just have to keep flipping under the leaves. They're smart. They're not going to lay on top. They're going to lay on the bottom. And when you see them little dots, whether they're brown, green, translucent, or black, You have to spray it down with water. It took me years to realize I didn't need to keep spraying neem oil and D-soap or Bonner Brothers vegetable castile. A strong force of water will kill aphids. You got to walk that garden twice a day. If you work, I understand. But you got to do it when you get off from work or early in the morning. You just got to walk it. Aphids don't just necessarily love watermelon. They love all melons, and they love beans, and they love okra. Anywhere you see a lot of ants, you better believe me, they are farming the aphids. The aphids, with the insect would lay the aphid eggs. They grow, okay? They suck on the juice of your plants, because you can look at shriveling leaves and you turn it over, you're going to see aphids. And they suck up that juice, and then they excrete a sugary honeydew substance that ants like. So they will farm all around the aphids to protect them so they can keep on excreting that honeydew juice. So just flood with a good strong force of water. I bought me two. I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you what I got because my other one is broke. This is the one that I use, and the air pressure is a pressure sprayer. And I also have a pressurized nozzle on my water hose. This one is by Garden Line, and it doesn't keep the pressure real good. So this one came highly recommended by the reviews on YouTube, and you have a limited 1-year warranty on it. So it costs a little more, but I am a stickler for keeping my warranties and sending in the cards and everything. And this is what I ordered for those aphids when I want to get close up. And so yeah. This one is, like I said, is by, in case somebody wants to get it, it's by, I didn't say it, it's by Itzel, ITISLL. And it's on Amazon. I ordered it yesterday and it was here today. In fact, it was delivered at 4 o'clock in the morning on my ring. Okay? I'm going to go back and see if there's another question. Pests require constant treatment every 3 to 5 days, even after you can't see them. You are exactly right, Grandmama Grows. What is the name of your rolling planter for your fruit trees, and where did you purchase it? Lavender for Luck. It is a utility cart. I purchased it from Walmart.com. They were $39.99, but I don't know exactly what it is now, but I know it's more than that now. It's called a utility cart. And if you can't find it, who's that, Lavender for Luck, email me and I'll try to send you a picture or a link, because I have the apps on my phone. Okay, put some salt in the beer. They should not come out. So somebody's saying that the slugs go in the beer and come out? I've never seen that. But I did see a gardener say her cousin told her to put salt on her strawberries, and she meant to tell her to put the salt in the beer or the wine, whatever you're using with the yeast. Did I miss a question? Miss Grandmama Groves is saying black pepper and cinnamon will repel ants and fungus gnats in the soil. You know, The lady that was in the class yesterday was saying she bought the mosquito bits because she overwintered her Texas Star hibiscus in the house, and she got fungus gnats in it. And I forgot that she was in New Jersey. And I said, well, you can just leave them outside. And I forgot how cold it got there. I was just thinking, mine stay outside. Well, I always recommend using the mosquito bits in the rain barrels or your garbage cans where you collect water. And because it is a biodegradable organic matter that kills the fungus, I told her that I'm going to add it to my rainwater that I have in the greenhouse. Because I collect it in 5-gallon buckets, then I walk it over and I pour it into this 12-gallon garbage can. I'm going to add a little bit and use it on just a few plants, seedlings, to see if it works first. And if it does, then I'm going to tell you all it worked. I'm not going to tell you all it worked until I tried it. So I'm going to put them on something that I can sacrifice. If it dies, I won't get upset. But as far as the fungus gnats, you can use cinnamon, turmeric. I'm getting ready to get up and show you 2 more things because I have it right here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, where did I put it? It's right here. This is a little cheap spray bottle that I got from the dollar store years ago. Sometimes the sprayer break, there'd be one color. And in that bottle is 2/3 distilled water, because this is for my seedlings, and 1/3 3% hydrogen peroxide. You spray it onto the soil, and it may bubble a little bit. Don't get nervous. As long as you dilute it 3-to-1, it's not that much difference in this and water. Because water is H2O, and the hydrogen peroxide, the household strength 3%, is H2O2. So you have just a little bit more oxygen in it. But it destroys fungus gnats. It works. Any questions? But Grandmama Grows, the first time I heard about black pepper helping with the fungus gnats. I'll try it. Thank you for adding that. I appreciate your contribution. Okay. Do you recommend any particular onions? No, I don't. You got to check for where you live. I can only tell you about the onions in where I live. Because I don't know what zone you in, but you can check a farmer's almanac. You can check with your local extension office. But I know what works well for me, and they are the Texas Sweet or Texas Short Days. And I ordered them from, anybody remember? Farmerdale Onions, or let me see. Well, I could go on my bank statement and find it. Google it. It's an onion farm. And they would tell you. And they deliver the onions according to your zone when it's time for you to plant them. And you can contact them and ask them what is the best. So let's just say you in Cleveland, Ohio. And they will give you that information. But you also can get it from Farmer's Almanac. Tia, I do the Texas onions. The Short Days or the Texas Sweet onions. Every year with my strawberries. And Grandma Grove said mosquito bits would cause mold in the soil if you use too much. Well, I never have an issue with that because I've been using it for about 10 years, and I added to my rain barrels to kill the fungus before, you know, it kills the larvae, or larvae, if you want to say plural. So I've never had any mosquito bits to cause a fungus in my soil. I'm not telling you that it can't. The only reason why it would is you've got it too strong. So I'm telling everybody, do it at your own risk. I will do an experiment and I will share with you what happened. In fact, I'll start it tomorrow morning. For example, in my last video, I shared with you when I was potting up my patty pan squash, I left the mesh on some of the peat pellets, and some of them I took them off, and I marked it with a marker on my little label so that I would know which one, there's two of them, that has, this my little label, that has the mesh covering on the peat pellet. So I don't never tell you to do something until I've tried it. Okay? All right. I place a pot on my grow shelves inside. Debbie, can you elaborate why do you place a pot? Don Fritcher said, oh, I do this, exclamation mark, and I add a tad of Dawn. That's what I do. It works great to break down surface oils that won't hold the water and so many other benefits. Well, it'll make it stick to the plant too, the Dawn. You know, that's what they use when they have the oil spills and stuff off the animals and it, you know. If it don't hurt the little animals, come on now, we can use that too. Okay, somebody else is asking Debbie Epps, what do you place in the pot? I don't get that. That's why you are a great teacher. Lead by example. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't want nobody spending all that time growing your plants, and then I tell you some cockamamie thing to do, and then your stuff die. No, I don't do that. Okay, Lorraine is saying, if no mesh bag, just strain the grinders out of the water. Lorraine T, they always disintegrate. When it tells me to put a little capful, one little capful in a 33-gallon bucket, that's all I use. You can only do anything. Oh, thank you, Girl Hudson. Y'all ain't hitting that like button. Debbie says, I bought inside pots of lavender from outside in my garden. Oh, okay, Debbie. I see what you're saying. And that's another one, Debbie, that I don't see no insects by. The lavender. Thank you, Debbie, for bringing that up. My lavender seedlings, my chamomile, no insect gnats near them whatsoever. Okay? So a lot of things will repel. Yes, and the hydrogen peroxide makes the water behave like rain. Raindrops spin as they fall and become hyperoxygenated. That's a good reason to add it if you don't get it from the rain. And that's why when you get that rain water, and it's rained a day or two, and then you go back out there like 3 days later, and you're like, whoa, everything exploded with growth. You are so right. Yes, Lorraine T, I mentioned that the hydrogen peroxide works. It does. Because I don't have no fungus. I have some fungus gnats still in here. You might have seen one fly around here. But they're being trapped. Oh, very good question. Thank you, Barb Brownlee. Mwah, mwah. DixonDaleFarms.com for the Texas sweet onions in the short days. Thank you, Bar Brownlee. So whoever asked that question, she's got it there for you. Somebody told me about the crowns. You question, Debbie Jones, how deep to plant the crowns? Debbie, she said starts. Was it Debbie? No, Tracy. Tracy. Check out my playlist for a few weeks ago when I was transplanting Bull's garden strawberry crowns / starts. The crown needs to be above the surface of the soil. Let me get a pen. Here's the soil. Here is the crown right here. Here are the roots. They go down, and at the surface of the soil, can you see that? The crown, I'm looking at myself on the monitor. Yes, the crown is above the soil. Now, I know somebody who planted a whole lot of crowns and didn't do their research. They buried the crown. Your crown needs to be above the soil line. The same thing like your fruit trees that are grafted on a rootstock. There's a line of demarcation. Let's say this white part right here is the graft going down, and this is the actual tree trunk. Do not bury the graft or above the graft down in the ground or in your container. You want to make sure that that line of demarcation is above the soil level. The same thing with the strawberry crown. Don't bury it. Oh, let's congratulate Martha Allen. She just joined our Make Your Own Club. Please email me, okay? Let's congratulate her. Thank you so much. And the lavender is a fantastic repeller and also brings in the pollinators. Yes, I think I said that. Very good, Debbie. Because you can take rosemary oil, essential oil, lavender essential oil. Of course, you know you can do centrola. You can do marigold oil, but you wouldn't want that because it doesn't smell that good. But you can take all of these things and make you a spray. You can add it to witch hazel. You can add it to water. You can add it to alcohol or Listerine. And you can just sit out there all night and the mosquitoes won't bother you. Okay? And you can Google which essential oils or flowers or herbs repel list. And you'll see it works. I told you all this story before, if you've been with me for a while, that my family loves to go camping. They had all of their off and all the little sprays and little babies were like, here go mama. She always bringing that homemade stuff. Well, those mosquitoes was tearing them up. I said, come here, baby. I sprayed all of my, just missed it. All my little grandchildren down. Mosquitoes bothering you? No, big mama. They're bothering you, honey? No, big mama. Then my sister said, give me some of that homemade stuff. I said, no, y'all said there's a Walmart down the road. There, go get you some. But you all know I had an extra bottle and I shared it. But a lot of those chemical products that we use, we could do away with that and make our own. And you all know that that Skin So Soft, I think it's the DEET in the Skin So Soft oil, it will repel insects too. I don't know all the chemical combination in that product, but I know I make my own. Hey, Susie Polader. Somebody said, good night, my granny's garden, she's leaving. If so, thank you for being here. Grandmama Grove says she used alcohol. She think of sweet. Girl, I go to the Wily World and get the generic. And then just put my essential oils in it. I get the cheapest kind. You don't have to get the name brand. It works. Thank you, Debbie. Oh, that's Cherie that's putting up the cash out. And that's Antia telling her to email me. Thank you so much. And At Home with Cherie has been a member. Oh, they got their pearls. She and Debbie. They got their pearls. Now I gotta come up with another emoji for people who would go past 7 months. Thank you so much, ladies. Oh, that just warms my heart. And I love everybody is clapping. Yes, she said, yes, I saw my icon changed. Yeah, pearls from Lady Cheryl. Okay. Oh, I am just acting crazy tonight. I love that bell icon. Let me see if I can copy that. Copy. No, it just says emoji. Okay, LaDon Fisher says she can't find the button to join. If you go back up there, you scroll at the top, or if At Home with Cherie will post it again, or another moderator. Because she wants to join. And who is that? Amani said, I thought it was the mineral oil in the Skin So Soft. It has D. No, mineral oil don't repel insects. And Yankee's sister has been with us for 7 months. She said she was wondering what the picture was. Yes, a pearl. Yeah, pearl from Lady Cheryl. Okay, so Grandmama Grows just posted the link. Thank you, Grandmama Grows, for that young lady. And I just clicked on it. Yeah, and no, it just has my channel. That's not the one that's the direct link. Grandmama Grows, that's not the one. I'm gonna get your question hoeing and sewing. I'm gonna take that one out because that's not the link. That just goes to my channel. Oh, I can't take it out because you're a moderator. Okay, let's go with Home with Cherie. Let's do that link. You know what? Who was that? Grandmama Grows, you were right. It's a button up there on the channel page. I apologize, dear. It's the same one. You are exactly right. I didn't see the join button. And Antia is doing it too. But there is a link that takes you straight to the... That's the one. The one that Antia is putting up is the one that I wanted. So click on the one with Antia's backyard and you will see it's the exact link. I'm going to try to write this down. I'm going to try to copy it and paste. And I'm going to try to put it in my Word document. See if it'll do it. Sometimes it'll let you paste stuff. Yes, it did. Okay, so I got it. So depending on which one that you click on, look at the top or a button say join, or you can go to the one that I just put up and somebody else put up. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the questions. And people are congratulating Yankee Sister, Debbie Epps, at home with Cherie. Okay, here we go. That's the question I was looking for. Hoeing and Sewing Gardening said, do you feel like the companion plants would take up too much resources if they are crowded in with other plants? No. No, not at all. I never had that issue. I don't use chemicals, so all I use is organic resources. So, no, never had an issue with something not developing the way that it should. And especially when you build your soil up, you don't have to keep using all that fertilizer. Hey, Virginia fruit grower, thank you for being here. I watched your video the other day where you were unboxing a very rare fruit. Oh, you're welcome, LaDon. We're like family. Come back every Monday night. You have a question. If I don't have an answer, they're going to kick in and pitch in and help, especially the moderators. Tasha Oshie Grows, will you be offering an insect repellent make your own class? No, I'll do that on a Monday night. I'll make it right alive right here. Okay? And Tasha Oshie Grows, I'm going to copy your question and put it in my Word document, and I'll do it. And somebody else probably would do it on YouTube that's watching in the bleachers or in the attic. I can't help it. Yeah, that was funny. Okay. Yeah, so I'll do that for you. And Tasha, you don't need no class for that. I'll just tell you. When you're dealing with an essential oil, you only need a few drops. Let's say you're going to make something like in this 10 to 12 ounce bottle. Okay? So I would put about 3 ounces of water. Okay, LaDon. And I'm talking to LaDon. Am I talking? No, I'm Sasha. I worked hard today. When I stop remembering, it's because I worked too hard. Thank you, Cherie. Those of you that are trying to join through that link, you have to be on a PC. Okay? Let me see something. I'm going to go on my own channel.
I've had so much energy green tea, I could ride this bike to nowhere forever.
Turn the volume down. And I'm going to go look at these links. Starting with the one Grandmama Grows. Oh, that was the insect control one. Let me go to another one. And insect control. I'm looking for one of the links, guys. Let me see if I can hit it on my phone. Okay, let's see. Nope. They are right. You got to do it on your PC. And I'm going to get back to the formula. because it's no wrong or right. It's just how you want to smell. If those fragrant, those essential oils don't bother you, you can add a little bit more. Peppermint is another one that deters insects. But peppermint is so strong that it's recommended you only add a drop or two to almost any formula. So there are a lot of essential oils that repel insects. But getting back to what I was talking about, let's say you're only going to put about 3 ounces of your mouthwash or alcohol or witch hazel, and then about 3 ounces of water, and then a few drops of all of the distilled or, pardon me, essential oils, whatever you're going to use. And then you just shake it up real good. Okay? So you really don't need a class on that, Tasha Oshie Grows. It's whatever you want to use. You can use rosemary oil. Like I said, I don't like to smell like marigolds. But I use rosemary, centrola, lavender, chamomile, and that's about the ones that I can think of right now. But you only need a few drops into your mixture. And because you're not doing anything to emulsify the essential oils with the water, if you use the mouthwash, the alcohol in there would kind of emulsify it, like oil and water. But just shake it up to be on the safe side when you use it. But you can go out and garden, and I hear people talking about the mosquitoes so bad and blah, 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 but I'm going like, why don't they put something on it to deter the mosquitoes? You can even put neem oil in it. So there are a lot of things that you can put in it, okay? All right. Oh, Debbie Epps, thank you so much. And somebody put tea tree. Tea tree is more of a antifungal. Like, tea tree shampoo, blah, blah, blah. I guess you could put tea tree on your body, but I wouldn't. But you can use it. Okay. You're welcome. And Grandmama Groves is saying, make sure you test spray on a couple of leaves before you spray your whole plant. We were talking about a mosquito spray for us, not for the plant, Grandmama Groves. Okay, I think that's what we were talking about. Now, Debbie reminded me, because I thank you so much for reminding me, because sometimes I forget. I'm going away from the special to midnight. I'm not staying up to midnight no more. I'm not no spring chicken. Here is my Peace fragrance oil. It is the same one I offered last week. I got an email saying, can you do that again? Because I wanted to get some. And I got a cute little box that it goes in. If you want to use it for a Christmas present, a Mother's Day present, birthday present, you can order. It'll be on all week long. And it's just real cute. Got a little arthritis issue today with my fingers. And you got a nice cute little label there, Peace. And it has the my special formula that I use with my hair milk, my creamy body butter, my creamy moisturizing body lotion, what other, total body oil for your hair and your skin. And then it's lightly scented with this same essential oil fragrance. Except it has a carrier oil of sweet almond oil, which is scentless, but it's so good moisturizing for your skin. Okay? And you all know my deal. I told you all that my mother was a master herbalist, and I never had soap on my face for as long as I can remember. I remember being a young girl, and she says, beauty is what beauty does. She was very proper. She was the type of mother that will throw something at you if you used incorrect English. I'm just keeping it real. And she said, beauty is what beauty does. And so she had our little regimen with my little sister. And we used cold cream or Noxzema way before it came out with oil Olay and all these other things. So I've never had soap on my skin. And that's why I have a youthful appearance, because soap dries your skin out and you have to moisturize your skin. Okay, especially around this eye area. That's the first one. I'm gonna get close so you can see. Yes, I have the little indentations here, but I don't have a lot of those wrinkles that some women have at my age. And try to get closer to the camera. So check out my products. Look on the special and the gift set page, and you'll see that this product, I think I got like $3 off of it. It's a special button. Don't order it on the fragrance or page, because I'm going to be adding more fragrances. I have 7 signature fragrance. I told you guys when I got ill and I had to have surgery, I stored everything on hard drive. Not this one. This is a better one my son-in-law got me. But if you would go to the specials and gift set page, it advertised, meet me here at YouTube at 7 o'clock Central Time every Monday night, and I'm going to make this a 1-week special. And so I only had it for one night, but now I don't have to stay up late for the orders and that type of thing. And this sale will be on until Monday, March the 7th. And then when I come on the PM for the show, it'll be another special. And I already published it, because I said that's putting too much pressure on me trying to publish it at the last minute. And the computer was messed up. And I think it was Barb Brownlee that helped me resolve that issue. So it'll be on for the whole week. Okay? Do you all think that'll be better? I think so. Blessings from the garden. Let's hear what everybody got to say. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? You had some really nice videos, too, that I watched. And Auntie says, looking ashy, feeling dry. I love it. You can check out Lady Cheryl's body butter here. Oh, thank you, Auntie. That is so cool. Looking ashy. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put that on Instagram. Only thing about Instagram, they don't let you put links, but you can put the link in your bio. There's ways around everything, ain't it? I'm copying it. That is too cute. Looking ashy. Feel a little dry. I love it. Great idea. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so if it's not any more questions, okay, here's one. I don't know if you saw me, but I am in the house. Okay, you got the TV. Can you do gardening? I don't know what you're saying, Regina. I don't know if you saw me, but I'm in the house. Well, hello. I think you're saying, I don't know if you saw my question. I didn't. But you saying, can you do garden 1B the attic? Help me out, sweetie. I don't know. I missed something. Thank you, Lorraine T. Okay, see, now you're going to have me, I'm going to have to give Auntie, what is it, a finder's fee for her campaign, her ad campaign. Because Lorraine T said, it works for me, I will order some. Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, she garden in the attic. A dry, ashy mess. I garden in an attic? If there's light, because there are restaurants that have rooftop attics, rooftop gardens, but an attic, if you have ample light, if you have a skyline, I don't see why not. And you can always do what I did. I had lived in a basement apartment and had grow lights. And they were just a cheap fluorescent shop lights. That's why I know you don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment, expensive grow lights to grow stuff. Because I grew stuff in a basement where there were only little block windows and it was so small that you could vent and get air in, but it didn't offer a lot of light. Help her, Lord, Tia's backyard. Yeah, she's funny. Okay, good night, Miss Ellen. Auntie Ellen, we appreciate you. My attic is cold and dark right now. Wow. Well, my attic is warm because my furnace is up there in my attic. I have 2 entryways to my attic, one from the garage and one in the hallway. I think you could. There are some people that make lofts out of attics, and they put skylines in. Oh, yes, Lord, around here looking like an alligator. You all are tripping me out today. Thank you all so much. I look forward to joining more of these lives and checking out the channels in the community. Y'all are such an inspiration. Thank you, Stephanie. We love hearing that. Yeah, Debbie Epps, I think she could garden in the attic. Because I know up north, Gary and where I'm from, my aunt's house had an attic, and they changed it to a loft for the oldest daughter to have a room by herself. Lorraine T is telling Stephanie, you're going to learn a lot here, and we have fun, prizes, and games. And I'm not going to do a game tonight, but sometimes, you know, we do have prizes. And Cherie is saying the new LED grow lights aren't super expensive, and they last 6 times longer and use much less energy, worth considering the upfront cost so you don't drive up your electric bill with these current rates. I agree totally, 100%. And you can get cost-efficient bulbs, grow bulbs, because I have a lot of individual floodlights where I can maneuver and put them where I want them. And I get the energy-efficient grow light bulbs, and it will lower your electricity. Another thing is I like the LEDs, too, with the wands that you spread out. One company gave me a set free, and then I ordered 2 about 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I didn't buy anything this year, and they are very low energy. Gardening in the attic could be warmer than a basement with heat rising, depending on the installation too. Worth trying. Nice use of unused space. Yeah, because I just know when they go service my air conditioner, I get the filters changed in the wintertime. I just hear people talking about, you know, it's hot up there. Because heat does go up. Everyday life of OCD is chick alligators asking me how you feeling, Auntie. You all right? That is so funny. Now, Cherie, basements were always warmer to me up north because they were in the ground. But we had a heated basement, so I'm sure you do too. Yeah, but heat does rise up. Okay. And then 2 guys, I think it's Debbie and Cherie, got some questions about the LED lights and blah, blah, blah. But I don't use my grow lights that long. Everything has to go out to the greenhouse. Last of February, 1st of March, there will not be any grow lights going on. They're going to get the natural sunlight. And this is another thing I wanted to talk about, and I didn't even write it down. I was in a group, and somebody was telling somebody in the group to keep a grow light on your plants for 16 hours. Guys, if you put your grow lights or your LED lights or your full spectrum grow lights on a plant for 16 hours, they get real yellow. That's too much light. I turn my lights on when the sun comes up, and I turn them off when the sun goes down. That's why they look all vibrant and green, and they haven't had any fertilizer other than what's in the potty mix or the perlite. I don't fertilize my seedlings until March when everything is out in the greenhouse, and then they're going to get a real diluted strength starting off with comfrey. Then eventually, as it gets warmer and warmer and they start mowing my front lawn, then I'll get the, you know what I'm trying to say, the grass clippings or the worm tea or the compost tea. Some people are leaving the lights on too long thinking that's what is going to make them grow faster. I'm here to tell you that does not work. Anybody got anything they want to add about it? Yeah, Cherie says she has a finished basement. See, that's what my mother, the second apartment my husband and I rented was my mother's apartment. Full kitchen, bathroom, everything. No alligator, I'm not feeling so well. I have dryitis. Lord, y'all funny. They call me Sunshine is in here. Hey, hello. Thank you for being here. So yeah, we have a finished basement. My mom did. And it was very warm. Thank you, Amani. I appreciate you being here. I thank everybody that joined the groups. Next week will be the first week in March. I will announce the seed if you're in any of the perk groups. If you want it, I will send it to you. You email me and say, I want those seeds and an address. I don't send them out to everybody because a lot of people don't need them. Okay? All right. So if there aren't any more questions, did I miss anybody? Did it go by too fast? Usually my moderators will catch it and they'll tell me. And again, I want to thank Debbie Epps for reminding me about the special. It's going to be a week-only special now instead of 1 day. Tugby, you just helped me. I had my lights on a 12-hour timer, and that kept going off at the wrong time. Now, I just do what you said. Yeah, turn, and you know, well, you can't see it, but whenever I go live, I don't have any lights going on. The lights go off when the sun goes down. I have learned that too much light, whether it's an expensive LED, full spectrum, or the white grow light, or the cheap shop lights, your plants will get too yellow. Yep. Thank you, Barb Brownlee. She said, awesome lives. The direction with my full spectrum light says 6. See, LaDon? Even it tells you to only put them on for 6 days. Okay, Regina, okay, I asked that question because I don't have room in my home. Yeah, I understand. I understand. So that's the first thing I get up in the morning. Of course, you know, I'm going to meditate and I'm going to pray. Gotta go to the little girl's room. Then I go in there, I turn my lights on, I look at which one of my babies didn't deliver the little seedling that has germinated, and I remove it to another area. And that's it. Okay, I asked that question because, okay, I got that. I start mine off with long periods of light and then scale back once they start to get established. As long as you don't keep them on too long. Too yellow and leggy, ask me how I know. Lavender, for luck, you got the light too far away. And last year, I had somebody come into my live and dispute what I was saying. And they had been gardening for 1 year. And they propped up their leggy seedlings, but they never had a harvest. The only seedling you can use that is leggy is a tomato seedling. And I'm getting to go get you one. It's right here. I'm going to get real close to the camera and let you see. You see that little fuzz all along the stem? See it? That little peach fuzz. It has the ability to grow roots all along that peach fuzzy stem. So, check this out. I'm going to do it on camera. I'm going to pinch off that little branch. And that little branch. And you can really smell how pungent that tomato smells. And you can cut it off with some little shears. Now, you can leave that in there or you can put it in the compost. Now you see the soil line? Potting mix. Vigoro potting mix, whatever's on sale. And I'm going to just remove any, let me move back because I don't have a mask on. Any small, big pieces of wood chips. And I'm going to fill up the potting mix. In this cup, I'm going to fill it up to go around that fuzzy roots on the spine or the branch stem. I'm going to pack it down. And I'm just moving out real big wood chips, not the small ones. And I'm going to mash down. And I'll guarantee you, I'll show you this plant. Let's mark it. I'll do it after the live is over. This says mushroom basket on the bottom here, but that's not what this is. And I'm going to show you this plant next week. And show you that those roots will root all the way in here. Okay? So when you're potting up your tomato plants, you don't necessarily have to fill the whole cup up. Let the roots, let them keep growing and growing and pushing that plant to get taller and taller, and then add more soil. That is the only plant that is leggy that you can do that to. And while I'm here, before I look over here and see if somebody said something, somebody emailed me and told me that she topped off all her plants. Unless, that's what the email said. Now, I don't know if that's what she meant to type. And they got black spots on them and fungus and whatever. I never told anybody to top off all their plants. The only thing I told you that I use the topping procedure on is peppers. Right? And even if you top off plants, shouldn't get black spots on them. Something else is going on. But that email also said the person fertilized. So I don't know what you fertilized with. I'm not going to call no names out. I'm not meant to embarrass anybody. But if you watch my videos, when I explain topping peppers, I never said anything. Now, I know I got a senior citizen brain, and sometimes I misspeak and say the wrong word. But when I go back and look at my video, I'll put on there, misspoke, meant to say something. But I never told anybody to top off all their plants. But I'm going to go get one more plant before we say goodnight, and I'm going to show you how beautifully close up, because I showed it in my video. I think I'm showing it in my video tomorrow. But I want y'all to see this close up. Let me go get a pepper plant. Y'all see that? You don't see them peppers? Topping. I took about 7 branches off. All of them came back. So it works, people. But don't top off all your plants, because if you top off some plants, you're going to kill them. Because the nutrients that they need in their first set of true leaves is what they survive off of. So you cut that off, then you give them artificial or chemical fertilizer. No, no, no. Okay, so let's see the question. Leggy bean plants, start over. I'm keeping it real with you. Start over. Because once it starts off leggy, you're always going to have a weak plant. And beans actually do better when you direct sow them seeds in the ground. But I do, sow some in my containers, and I also start some so I can succession plant. By the time I put those in the ground or in the container, I will put some more beans or peas, whichever one I'm doing, with them. Okay? Okay, sow and grow seeds of Yah. Please, next time, put your question in all caps. I'll answer it, though. Yes, I had a 5-year-old pepper plant in the greenhouse and a 3-year-old pepper plant, but they died in the polar freeze February 3rd, 2021, when it dropped to 3 degrees and it got down to 19 degrees with a 26-hour power failure. So I lost every tree and every plant in the greenhouse with the exception of a Miho Satsuma. And it survived because it's cold hardy and I had it covered, but it struggled. But we did harvest 5 pieces of fruit this year, and I'm hoping that it will thoroughly recover this year. So yes, I have a video on that in my tomato and pepper playlist. And what I do is I trim the plant down to about 1 feet. I've seen a lot of videos where the people kept them real big, but eventually they end up trimming them because it'll kill itself. I don't criticize people in their videos unless, I don't never criticize, but unless they say, if you have any suggestions or recommendations, I'm a new gardener, about how to do this, please feel free to put them in the comments. If they say that, then I will add my 2 cents based upon my 40 years of experience. My experience has taught me to cut the plant down and starve it. Don't try to hold on to a bunch of branches. Try to put it in dormancy. Water it once a month. Or if it looks like it's getting too weak, maybe give them just a little sip of water every 2 weeks. But then come spring, when you move them out of your greenhouse or your garage or wherever you're overwintering them, and then all of a sudden you give them a little worm castings, you give them a little compost tea, it's going to come alive when the weather change. And so they'll put on all those branches. Don't be trying to hold on to a whole lot of branches and then put your plant in dormancy. Okay? Oh, thank you so much, Growing with Hudson. Seeds in zone. You want to count back about 6 weeks to your last frost. Who's that? Tracy Jones. How early shall I start my pepper seeds? And so you can also go to the Farmer's Almanac, like I said, and it'll tell you when to start them. But if you know what your projected last frost date, count back 6 weeks. Now, I'm a little different. I started for the first time this year, I started my pepper plants in December because I knew in February they were going to go out to the greenhouse. And so my greenhouse is heated. And then I have another resource of heating it other than the 2 small heaters. I do the rocket stove, I do the vintage lamps, and I have a big old kerosene heater on standby in my garage just in case we get a power outage. But I think the worst of our weather is over. We may get that little, what the old folks call a little Easter snap, you know, but I don't think it's going to be anything like 3 degrees or 18 degrees. But if it is, I will open up a window in the greenhouse so that my plants don't get carbon monoxide poisoning, because they are human. They're not human, but they're living beings. So they don't need to get choked out with kerosene. But I will drag that brother out there if I need to heat up my babies. Okay? All right. Thank you, Auntie. She put that on me. Girl, you are so good. You are so good. All of my moderators. Debbie Epps was right when she said we got the Lady Cheryl's Mod Squad. Yes, that is so nice. LaDon Pritchard said it's been raining 16 hours straight on our snow park that usually keeps everything warm. It's 17 tonight. I think I may lose my peach tree. Anyone in the north have advice? I'm amendable. Well, you can put C9 or C7 old-fashioned Christmas trees lights around them. But this is what I want to tell you. Every year, my Gala apple tree would bloom too early. And every year, my youngest son and his 2 children will come over and we will wrap the tree up. We put sheets around it. We put blankets. We use burlap. Whatever you do, don't put plastic next to the tree. That tree died when it got down to 3 degrees. Now, how can I say this? I was sad, but I was not as sad as all the stuff I lost in the greenhouse because it was a problem. Every year, it would bloom too early. But it was recommended from the Master Gardener books that I have, from the nursery that I bought it from. It was recommended that that will be a good tree for Zone 8A, Mesquite, Texas. But that particular tree did not work out well for me. You can put those lights, the old-fashioned lights that I tell you in there, and you say we saved it a couple of years, but it was no hope when it got down to 3 degrees. Okay? Mod Squad, awesome. Thank you, Tia. Playgirl B, how do you plant your bare root trees? I have a video. I planted a pink lady apple tree. Just go down my list and go look at the fruit tree playlist, or just go down for the last 10 videos, maybe 12 videos. You'll see one. It's just too much information to try to do in a Monday night chat. I have the video. I think the name of the video is How to Plant a Fruit Tree in a Container in 5 Minutes. And it's basically the same thing if you put it in the ground. If it's in a pot, wrap the pot alone and the plant and block all the wind if it's outside. Okay, I don't know what y'all talking about. Okay, Elsie, we need pain cream tonight. That'd be so funny. Debbie. You know my sister-in-law, Elaine. I sent her 2, she ordered one, I sent her another one free. Because she did something on her shoulder that I did a few years ago, tore that rotary cuff. And all they can do is give you cortisone injections and pain killers. I sent her the pain cream, and she texted me today and told me it was feeling better. Just speaking of the pain cream, I thought I'd tell you that. My apple tree bark is turning orange. Any ideas what it could be? Veggie Farm Garden, did you spray it? While your trees are dormant, you always have to do a dormant spray. I use neem oil and it's a copper spray that you make. I put mine together. Okay. Grandmama grows. It is in the ground. Oh, so we're asking specific questions to Grandmama grows. Oh, okay. It is in the ground about 20 feet tall. about 6 to 7, she's trying to bud. Okay, I'll let Grandmama Groves get that one. Okay, because you all probably had a conversation. I understand. Oh, that's what I want to find out. Regina Tyson, she wants to know, hello, what seeds, I think you want to know what seeds do you direct plant? Something like that. It moved real fast. In March. Okay, you can do a lot in March, but it depends on where you are. Where are you, dear? You need to check the Farmer's Almanac too. Now, in my area, I can do all the cold, COLE, crops that thrive good or well in cold, COLD temperatures, like spinach, cabbage, broccoli. You understand what I'm saying? Mustard greens, whatever. But I personally like to go ahead and start some of them early, inside. And but Regina, you're gonna have to check with the Farmer's Almanac. Say like you want to grow corn. I don't know what the garden zone you in, so you got to put all that information in, and they'll give you a chart that you can follow. Okay? Auntie is putting it in. Regina Tyson, put the zip code in here, and it will give you the dates to plant various plants. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you so much. And see, I love when you answer the question like that with the no offense instead of directing it to one specific person or moderator, because other people are going to come back and watch the replay and they will get the links and the answers to your questions. Okay, Yankee sister. Good night. We appreciate you. Okay, is that it, guys? Did I miss something? Regina Tyson, you in Detroit, you need to take that and put it in what Antia told you for the Almanac website. Oh, I think you were telling me about the Detroit, about your seeds. Well, you got a long way to go, because Detroit ain't that far from Gary, Indiana. We used to go to Detroit, Michigan all the time when I was a kid. So you got a long way to go. You still got snow on the ground. So you can go to Farmer's Almanac, okay? And it'll give you what you need to know. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. We appreciate you, Yankee sister. We understand. She let you know she's on the East Coast, so she got to go to bed. Regina says she's in 6B. What seeds can I grow in March? Regina, that's the same thing. You're in Detroit. Yeah, you're going to have to look that up, hon. Because I don't have, with all due respect, I can't remember everything that you can plant on, what months in each garden zone. Only thing I know for sure is what I can plant in my grow zone. And I push the envelope. I do some stuff that I'm not supposed to do. Like I got a whole lot of tomatoes just waiting to be ripened on the vine in my greenhouse, where the temperature fluctuates. A lot of people don't do that, but it's like a challenge to me. My sister plays coloring on the internet. She plays spades. She plays bubble. She watches vintage game shows. I don't enjoy any of that, but I enjoy watching the weather report and putting lamps on when I need them in the greenhouse and that type of stuff. Okay? So I know about my area real well, but I don't know about the other ones. Okay, so I think that's it, everybody. Everybody is saying good night. Auntie is saying good night. Who is Sekhmet R.A.? I don't know what that means. Grandmama Groves is saying good night. Lavender Luck saying rest well. Barb Brownlee. She has the beautiful emojis. And Cherie is saying good night. Good night, Lavender for Luck. Good night, Miss Kia Parks, my my daughter, my internet daughter. Good night, Cassandra. Good night, Lynette Tucker. Good night, Amani. Good night, Love Grown Green Garden. And good night, Miss B. Washington. You guys know that I love you and God loves you too. Good night, everybody. And you know what? My sinuses stopped draining. My daughter was right.